Today, I'm going to show you my Ableton Live looping setup. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout-out goes to Jambot. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. All right, so yesterday I posted my first ever attempt at a live looping session using Ableton. And a lot of you asked for a setup explanation, so I figured that's what we would do today. So the gear I am using for this setup is the Roland SPD-SX, a Yamaha KU100 bass drum pedal. Don't know if you can see it down here, but it's actually plugged into the SPD-SX and it is acting as trigger number one. Then I am using a Novation Launchpad Mini Mark III, a Novation Launch Control XL, and an Arturia KeyStep. Now, all of that gear is simply plugged into this USB hub right here. Well, technically only 3 of them are plugged into the hub. The other one is ran via an extension directly to the computer. And yes, this hub is actually just ran via extension also to the computer over there. And that's really it in terms of the physical connections. Everything is just ran USB into the computer. Now let me walk you through how everything works. So for the most part, it was really plug and play. We'll pull up Ableton on the screen now so you can see that as well. As you can see, I've got a couple different tracks set up here. I've got Microfreak on track 1. I believe Vital, it's hard to see the screen from here, Vital on track 2. Then I have a group of 4 tracks for my drums. The group is number 3. Track 4 is the kick, 5 is the snare, 6 is the hi-hat, and 7 is a cymbal. So let's go over what each of these does, and then I will tell you how I mapped it. So when record arm is lit up, each of these 7 buttons corresponds to the 7 different tracks. Technically, I have 3 tracks, but remember 3 is just the drum group, so we don't use that here in record arm. But basically, when I push a button, it arms and unarms a track to be able to be played or to be looped. The Launchpad Mini over here is just basically my session grid with all of my clips. So track 1, if I turn it on, there's all of my clips for the Mini Freak. Track 2, if I press it, there's all my clips for Vital Synth. 4 is the kick drum, 5 is snare, 6 hi-hat, 7 cymbal. So the KeyStep is mapped to control whatever is active between the first 2 tracks, so the 2 synth tracks. It's basically just plug and play. So when track 1 is armed, we get the Mini Freak. When track 2 is armed, we get Vital Synth. When I want to record something, I simply just arm the track I want to record with and trigger the clip. And unfortunately, the Launchpad Mini does not have fixed length recording, so I have to hit the button, play my pattern, then immediately hit it again so it stops and loops on time. Pretty simple. I do have one custom user setup here, and it's really, really simple. I just have this toggle here set to turn on and off the metronome. If you look on Ableton in the upper left-hand corner, you can see it lighting up and unlighting. Yeah. Cool, and then I believe it's right here. Nope, right here. Right here, I have play and I have stop. That's basically it for the custom controls. So I can play, turn off the click, turn it back on. That's just to set myself up. Now, let's take a look at the drums. So those are tracks 4, 5, 6, and 7. Luckily, the SPD-SX allows me to set a separate MIDI channel for each pad. Each trigger input, actually, the pad's included, so the pedal also is in that group. So I have the kick drum pedal on channel 11, matched to track 4 in Ableton. This pad is set to channel 12 for the snare. This is channel 13 for the hi-hat. This is channel 14 for the cymbal. If I arm, let's say channel 4, or track 4, the kick drum. There we go. If I arm track 5, that's the snare drum. Okay? 6 is hi-hat, 7 is cymbal. Now I can arm all 4 of these at the same time, and go ahead and play drums like that, which is really, really cool. Each of them have their own row of clips though, so I can trigger instances individually, or I could, click all 4, play one cohesive pattern, with all 4 parts of the kit, and then hit them all again and, record that way. So it's very, very flexible. The rest of the Launch Control XL is literally stock. So the top row is send A, which I believe in this case is delay for all of my tracks. So track 4 is kick drum. Sorry, send A is reverb. Yeah. There we go. Send B is delay. So reverb for all of my tracks, delay for all of my tracks. These are the pannings right here. If I press device, then I can control the very basic parameters of those devices. If I click track focus, we can see in Ableton there it pulls up the snare drum. And now since I'm on device, I can control those parameters of the snare drum right here. Pretty cool. Little reverb on that snare drum would be great. Cool, just like that, we're off and running. Now I don't have tempo control in this setup here. Unfortunately, I'd have to walk all the way over to the computer. But that's okay, I set the tempo beforehand. So when it's time to jam, we go ahead and arm the track we want to start recording with first, or start looping with first. Kick drum in this case. Go over to user, gonna hit play. My click is on, that's good. I'm gonna go back to session, get ready to start a clip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna click user, and I'm gonna toggle off the metronome. Now, if I click that, it will stop, so we can just leave it playing, or I can stop it entirely, go back to session, trigger the clip from here if I want. Super easy. Like I did yesterday though, I just kept it running and just turned off the click, that's fine too. Let's go something else. Let's go to the bass. That's so bad. Okay, we'll play something stupid like that. There we go. Let's go to our snare drum. Bring that down. Now, I didn't really like that. I don't think I have a way to delete that from here, which is kind of a bummer, but if I rearm the snare drum, I can just go to a new clip. Not sure why it turned down. Still working out the kinks. I don't know how all of this works. See, listen to that. Weird. I don't know. It's okay. Some hats. Arm number 2 for some keys. What key are we in? I forget. Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I want to jam on the drums, I can simply just trigger empty clips or go to stop. You know, it's really quite easy for my 3 drum tracks that I have going right now. Whoop, forgot to arm them. There we go. Then I can just click stop on the user custom, palette there, whatever it's called, template, there we go, when it's time to stop. And these are just simple MIDI mappings in Ableton. Anyone can do it. It takes 2 seconds. You just click on MIDI in the upper right-hand corner, and then click what you want to map, and then click what you want to map it to, or move what you want to map it to if it's a slider, and then click MIDI again and you're done. That's really it. So there you go. There's the extreme basics of the setup. It's really not too complicated. Just kind of taking advantage of, the different properties of each of these 4 pieces of gear, running them into the computer, and figuring out the most simple way to use them. I am by no means any sort of MIDI genius or even, I'd say, competent user. I am still new to all of this, so if I can figure this out, I guarantee you can too. It's really not that difficult. Just gotta put some time in. And just know there will be frustrations, like figuring out all of my levels and everything is still something I'm clearly trying to do. And yeah, that's really it. So I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too, doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.